We'll have another demonstration with Philippe Boucher in 30 minutes to show you the integration between OpenIO and Rubrik. So we decided to do a small technical session and show you how the product is definitely working. So Rubrik is based on the different backup solution. It is a backup solution, and we are using the different backup methods to gather the information and the whole data of your infrastructure and then manage it through your private cloud or your public cloud. So this is our main GUI, and you can see here the different categories that you can protect, and inside those categories the different objects that are protected or unprotected. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of latency because of the 4G. This is the SLA domain, which is our policies to back up and to gather the information inside Rubrik. We will configure a small one together right after that, so you can see and understand how we are managing this. This is the activity log. You can see the different activities that is running inside the cluster. And the different data and metrics of ingestion of data at the current moment. So first of all, when you are running Rubrik, which is installed and ready to run in less than 1 hour or in your infrastructure, you can directly create an SLA domain which will allow you to associate on the left column a frequency of gathering the data, and on the right, a retention. So for example, you can back up your data every 1 day and keep it for 31 days, then traditionally keep 1 monthly that you will have during 1 year. You can then set up directly some different storage destination, which will include the OpenIO destination, has an S3 compatible archival thing. Then you will use this little slider to indicate how much of data, how many times of data you want to keep on your local cluster before you can copy it to the public cloud or the private cloud. The first advantage of Rubrik is that we will show and we will put a copy of all of our metadata and index data in the private cloud, in this storage object, or even in another storage. So direct advantage is that you will be able to restore a single data whenever and wherever your data is, on your local cluster or on your OpenIO infrastructure. Then if you have another site, another cluster, you will be able to replicate this data, and in the same way of thinking, maybe show that you want to replicate 7 days of data for your DR site, for example. You can then click on create and associate this policy with any of the objects that Rubrik can protect, which is that this strategy can allow you to protect some virtual machine, some NAS target, or even some physical or database stuff. So to protect anything, you can do a small search, like if I want to protect my 2 virtual machines, and then click on this button, the Manage Protection button, that will allow you to maybe gather the different information, like I don't want any data to be archived, so I'm going to select this SLA domain. After that, first of all, we will allow you to restore the data, and this is the main object of the product. So let's select any virtual machine. For this example, my Windows machine, which is here working quite well. She's there, and it's definitely working on the Windows thing. If I can use the different possibility of Rubrik, so I will be able to search any file, like if you were using a Google search engine, like I want to restore my host file. Let's select everything. I can see the different version I have, and then directly restore or replicate everything. Main fact is that we allow a lot of performance because we have some SSD thing in our different appliances. So I will be able to store and gather any point in time. Let's say that I want to do a small mount of the data on the 24th of August. So I can mount anything and select the ESXi I want in my infrastructure virtualization. Let's select the current ESXi and then click on mount. Usually with our different competitor, it can take some minutes or a few times. I can directly select my live mount thing, check on the vSphere VM, and see that my machine is actually mounting. And if I'm going in my vSphere environment, it's already there. It's already started. I can see here the different thing about the Windows, and we'll see that this is actually residing in a Rubrik storage. So this is actually pointing to our SSD, and the virtual machine will then running at the SSD speed. Natively, Rubrik is allowing you to do some capacity planning and reporting. This is by design. And so you will be able to see how your infrastructure is running. If you can take this report that can be generated dynamically, we can check the different tasks that have been running in the last 24 hours. So in our example, we can see that 7,000 of tasks have been okay, only 72 has been bad. We can see directly the different occurrences that are there. We can gather the report and do some different exploitation tasks or administration tasks. And for the capacity planning view, you can see here the evolution of your storage for the last 30 days, and then see how your storage and your application is actually running. So how much data did you get back on the brick? How much did you archive in OpenIO? And how much did you replicate? This is your actually average daily growth. So how many days will you be running until your data will full up your different appliances? For the whole environment we are protecting, everything is included by design and by default in our different infrastructure. And we will do a small explanation with Philippe in 25 minutes now about the product, how is it working, how we are integrating with OpenIO, and how fast we can be to be more reliable on your infrastructure and ease the different administration tasks and backup tasks. So thank you.